Всем доброго времени суток, с вами снова Шутом. Мы продолжаем трансляцию по Kingdom Come Deliverance. Готовимся проходить все без смертей. Погнали. Мы остановились. Я вспомнил, о чем мы остановились. На Рафляндии. Теперь бежит. Мне честно интересно, кто этого встретил. Крестьянин.
Cry now. Ha! Had enough? Well, that's the end of you. You showed him. Thank you. A thieving man. And just so you know.
Thanks.
Он там больше был у него. Прикольно, я такой первый раз сижу. Ну что, время совершить путь паломника. Но бежать, конечно, хуй его тутуево. Мне кажется, на харде это дело сегодня по-другому проходить. Я скажу, что чувик, это вообще ёбнулась. Так. Что мне нужно? Мне нужно что-то на выносливость. Да. Ну ладно.
So, I made it this far. Ave Maria, gratia plena. I don't know the rest in Latin. But she'll understand my native tongue too, won't she? Holy Mary, Queen of Heaven, merciful Mother, please look down on me and hear me, a great sinner. I have sinned terribly. I killed a man. Runt. He was a... It's not for me to judge. It was a sin. Committed in anger, and it burdens my soul. And I killed other people too. Oh, merciful Mother of God. And I did all sorts of wicked deeds. I'm truly sorry for my deeds, and I promise I won't do them again. And I have fornicated. I'm ashamed of it. Well, as I said, I have sinned. But at heart, I'm not I beg your forgiveness, Almighty God, as Jesus Christ forgave those who... Mother of God, intercede with... They were honest people who didn't deserve what happened to them. And I... Amen.
Pater noster, qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum.
По 3 часа.
Fiat voluntas tua, sicut in cielo et in terra. Panem nostrum super substantiale da nobis hodie, et dimite nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimissimus debitoribus nostris, et ne inducas nos in tentationem.
А как это сделать? В смысле? Я ж помылся. Не понял. Мгм. Мне, видимо, надо было отправляться в паломничество отсюда туда, а не отсюда туда. Ну и похеру. Значит, не придется бегать.
Good health. I want to make a don... Here you are.
And I gladly accept your offering, my son. But I'm curious, how come you got so devout all of us?
Johanka sent me to do penance to the Virgin Mary.
Johanka?
Yes, Father.
Not to worry, lad. I had to listen to a lot of long... Each of the masters tried to speak longer than the others, so as I can handle it, believe me.
All right. Johanka is a girl from Skalitz. I've known her since...
Haven't they everywhere?
No, wait, though. The Virgin Mary has...
What?
Yes. Our Lady visits her in her dreams and shows her... Well, I don't know what.
Good Lord. What did...
Well, once she preached to the people about... Otherwise, beasts of hell would come for us. But if we're virtuous, Our Lady will drive the beast. Of course, when Johanka speaks, she speaks completely...
Damn. That sounds very...
No, I swear by the Blessed Virgin.
I see. And what do the people...
The Sasau folk go and listen to her preach, and that's not all. Then they go to her looking for help in making amends. And she helped a lot of people.
Многим двоим.
That's interesting. Very interesting, and some might even agree. And what about you, Henry? What...
I believe everything she says. Johanka would never lie. And she's helped. The Virgin Mary couldn't have chosen anyone better. And what do you think? You're a learned man.
It's hard to say. Maybe I should go to Sasau and see for myself. Thank you for telling me, lad. One thing is certain, though. They're
More interesting than now. Don't know if I'll be able to handle that. Anyway, I should get back to Johanka. I shouldn't keep her waiting. God be with you, Father.
Wait a moment. You came here the whole way from Sasau?
That's right, Father. Path or no path, over hill and vale, trudging my weary way.
Ah, And may God watch over you and lighten your load. Good luck to you.
А, то есть это реально. Это и был мой путь паломника. Но, блядь, извините, я нахуй не знал. В следующий раз, может, пройдусь. Я сильно сомневаюсь, конечно. Надо переодеться в броню.
Yeah. What do you want? Know your hunker here.
Where's your hunter?
She's locked up at the
Locked up?
for her wreck. Run along now. If you want to chat about it, go and talk to that monk who smells like an fight.
What happened to your hunter?
Nothing good. She was locked up by the papal inquisitor, Bishop. It seems he somehow called. He's accused her of spreading heresy.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know, Henry. It all did. The accusations brought against you.
Well, we must do...
Well, you can try talking to Bishop Yaroslav. He can tell you more as a servant of the royal head, but watch your step. This matter is entirely in the hands of...
Right. I'll go and see the...
May God go... And thank you, Henry. I'm glad you're standing up for your... Good luck, then.
Sir, I am...
Henry of Scots, from the garrison of the Royal. I've heard a lot about you, my son.
Bishop Yaroslav? Sir? My lord, to what do I owe your interest?
I was told you survived the massacre in Scots and warned the town. You tracked down the raiders of a stud farm in Neuhof, and then you led Sir Radzig and his armed company there and joined bravely in the skirmish. And I believe you have many other deeds. That's quite remarkable, considering...
No, you're too kind, Monsignor. I'm just trying to do what's right.
Quite rightly, too, my son. But I assume you didn't come here to exchange pleasantries.
No, Monsignor, you're quite right.
Naturally. I'd be quite surprised if it were otherwise.
How did you find out about it?
Word came to me of what was happening here. That some young girl was claimed. I traveled here immediately, as my duty demanded, and observed it.
I see. Why did you have her...
Because she broke the promise she made to me, and persisted in actions that bear the signs of her.
And what will happen to Johanka now?
I must weigh the gravity of her transgressions and investigate. I consider it very improbable that she is indeed being visited by the Blessed Virgin.
So you think it could be true? In that case, Johanka hasn't done...
It's not that straightforward. Even if her visions were real, she was at fault for interpreting them as she...
So you decide just like that? But you don't even...
I certainly do not decide just like, and you would be well advised not to. I will call Johanka and the witnesses.
And will there be anyone there?
Do you doubt?
I would never be so bold, sir. But surely it would be only...
Naturally, I will also question those who would. Since you are interceding, I expect you have.
Yes.
But this matter does not directly concern you.
Johanka is my neighbor, and I have a Christian duty.
I have to concur. Your concern seems sincere. So, very well. You may speak in her defense if you so wish. I will question any such witnesses.
Thank you, Monsignor.
That won't be possible. Until the entire matter is resolved, Johanka can speak. I would like to expedite the matter. The trial will take place in Sasson. Come and let me know when you're ready to proceed.
Very well, Monsignor. I had better get on with it then, sir.
Before you go, you know Johanka longer than... Tell me, my son, truthfully.
About the Virgin... I believe the Virgin does this, and the things she says sound truthful and compelling. Who else could it be from? But the Virgin...
The origin of these so-called visions of hers must be investigated.
She's worried about Matthias. He's from Skalitz too, and she's very fond of him. But Johanka believes that if she does what the Blessed Virgin wants of her... Johanka isn't honest. She's a good Christian who attends...
Good.
Johanka helped a lot of people. She worked her fingers to the bone helping Brother Nick...
That is certainly commendable.
Well, before, I never imagined I'd hear her talking the way she does now.
A simple village girl.
That's about all I can tell you.
Is that really...
Maybe. She took better care of her former Skalitz neighbours than of...
It's understandable, yes. So, anything else, Henry?
That's about all I can tell you.
Thank you, my son. One more thing before you... Let me remind you that it's your Christian duty to report anything suspicious going on concerning the church. If you prove yourself a commendable servant of the church, I would also take that into account in judging Johann.
All right, Monsignor.
Good luck, then.
Да, конечно.
Henry, I must have a word with you.
Brother Nicodemus,
You've heard something?
the Inquisitor has decided, but he's agreed...
That's really quite unusual.
Yes. I'll get her out.
I'm afraid it may... The thing is, I expect Johanka will say...
What are you saying?
Well, I've been thinking about what she's been saying, and... Are you acquainted with the notion of the three orders of...
Not really.
It's like this. It's said that everyone has their God-given place and purpose on earth. Laboratores, oratores, and bellatores. The common folk are born to work, to reap the fruits of the earth and to obey the... It is the purpose of the nobles to protect the people, and the church in turn has the task of caring for the spiritual welfare of all, so that they can endure their earthly trials.
But what's all that got to do with...
Well, I noticed in her first sermon she primarily addressed the...
Ah. So you...
Yes, I dread to think how that might end up. Henry, you must warn her against that. She must show humility before the Inquisitor. She's rather stubborn, but perhaps she'll listen.
But the Inquisitor said no one's allowed to...
No one except the Inquisitor's own men. I'm afraid Johanka's fate is made. Goodbye.
Witnesses can be summoned for So, I wanted to ask you if you'd give a testimony.
I'd be glad to do it. Such testimonies could carry a lot of weight. You should try and
God be with you.
Adela, the Inquisitor is go-
Oh, Lord. I hope she's a
I need people to speak in her defense.
I don't want to go there, but you helped me. But what am I supposed to say there? I'm just a simple...
That doesn't matter. It should be enough to talk about all the good Johanka does here and how she helps others. I'll send for you if you...
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Приел.
Hey, Henry's come to see us. Huh? My God, what happened to you? God be with you.
Так. Ну ладненько.
My humble greetings.
I've taken care of...
Oh, yes?
Here it is.
Very well. Here's your reward. Good luck then.
I have some...
Let's have them. Very nice.
I found this document in the woods by some... Careful. It's...
Don't tell me those fools. What to hell with. And did you come across...
Yes.
There now. Here's some money for you. It was supposed to be for those idiots.
I need something from... I suppose you heard that Johanka was locked up.
I did.
What you might not know is that he's agreed that...
You?
Sure I know. It'll turn out just fine. Trust me. But I need you to testify at the court. In...
Naturally. You don't think I could just... Besides, the bishop has already
Oh.
One moment. I apologize if I was a... I appreciate that you want to defend her. However, no offense, but I don't think you'll be able to achieve anything in court. But I have an idea.
Oh?
Flee. With Johanka, of course.
You might be right.
Johanka is being held at the rat house, isn't she? You could pass yourself off as one of the...
How am I supposed to...
Well, when his guard came here, he identified himself by... Think about it. But whatever you decide, if Johanka... I'm very fond of her. And her of me. But if everything ends well... See you later.
Угу. Он предложил альтернативу. Не такую уж и плохую, на самом деле. В целом, варианта 3. Ее сожгут на костре, мы с ней смоемся. Либо я смогу поговорить с ней, наверное, собрать достаточно свидетелей, чтобы ее не сожгли. Будет в любом случае не очень-то и просто. Интересный квест. Мне нравится. Да ебать копать.
Goodman Pavel, you're still here. That's a relief.
Yes, still. I had some business to deal with, but now that's out of the way. What was it you want?
You might have heard that Johanka was arrested by the...
Indeed. Word has
I'd like to ask you to speak...
Of course, Henry. You have my word. And the word... But to speak in defense of someone accused of heresy is no...
The same thing you told me. That it was a sacred sign that you happened to be nearby.
True. I'll tell the bishop that.
Thank you very much. Please wait here a few more days for the court...
All right. For Johanka's sake, I'll wait.
God be with you.
Yeah. I've got a few questions for you, Bailiff, if you don't mind.
And what business is it of...
No one complained, though I'd be interested to know why you think they might.
Begging your pardon, but what the devil does Sir Radzig care about it? And I keep hearing...
You have an inn, and the horse trails cross here. There must be many travellers come.
Aye, it's true. Bedlam has broken out.
Has there been anything like...
No. It's been... I don't recall coming across...
Nobody looking for soldiering work? Maybe as a...
There's always one or two like that.
Sir Sebastian?
Sebastian Baron von Berg. He's here under monastery.
Why should he care about the city?
Quite true. I'm in charge of this city, but he keeps telling me I've got cutthroats hiding.
I heard some recruiters are meeting in Sassa. See...
Do you think that people here complain and I don't do my job? Nothing of the sort. Old Lederman...
And what does this lady...
Lederman is our local tanner. Lives by the quarry.
They go there to fight and that doesn't bother you?
Why would it bother me? Much better to brawl there than in the tavern. At least in the quarry.
Have you heard any talk of strangers?
Nothing worth mentioning. Sure, there's been some talk about the miller. Folks saying they'd be...
I'll try asking him if he's heard.
He lives on the other side of the river, by the bogs. But don't...
Thank you, Bailiff.
Take care.
Master Bailiff? Inquisitor...
I know. He was here...
Oh?
Various things. Like how things are here. Whether people are honest. Whether we observe. And then he asked about your hunker. About what... He's been talking to a lot of other people in Sasau too. I even heard that Katra...
That's interesting. Was he just asking questions, or...
Yes. He did ask me.
I see.
It depends what I'm asked. But there's not much I can say. I don't know your hunker very well. Maybe some gossip about her and Sir Sebastian. But I've heard similar...
Now that's just idle gossip.
True. Folk have been falling out. They're split according to whether they... I don't know quite what to think of it myself. But I don't want to...
Thank you for speaking open.
I'll see you later.
Я бы мог купить, но это не то.
Father, the Inquisitor has had...
I know, sir.
He's planning a hearing.
Rightly so.
What do you think about it?
As I say, it's a good thing that the matter is being investigated. Who knows what these dreams are that and her words are only putting ideas in people's heads and leading them astray. Now, instead of going to church, it's creating a chasm between the people and the church and leading them away from the true teaching.
But your hunker is only saying what the Virgin...
And how do you know the Virgin...
Well, I believe...
But do you really think a girl from the stable knows God's better than the generations of church fathers and learned scholars since the time? With all the evil that's already going on in this province, the last thing...
Christ also came from a state...
There's no comparison. Enough of this. Bishop Yaroslav asked me to present my suspicion. He will then resolve the whole matter. He is, after all...
If you say so, far.
Farewell.
Well?
Well, we sat down and talked, and in the end...
Did you? Mother of...
Look here, I'll tell you what happened.
All right.
Ambrose got really drunk. I took his money, he took it really hard, and he...
Uh-huh. And what about the money?
Yeah, I gave it back to her.
That's wonderful.
I need your help with... I'm sure you've heard.
Who hasn't? The whole of Sasso.
I'd like to ask you to appear before the court.
I can't say I'm keen on going there. But I think it's only right that some...
Ah, thanks, Guta. I appreciate...
So what? Barbara's getting married, isn't she? So I suppose he was praying for her.
Aye, but neither of them was...
Вы уже спите. Рано спать, ребят. На первом этаже интересно. Угу. Я понять не могу, а что тут? А-а-а.
Hey, clear. No one's allowed to talk to you. Bishop Yaroslav.
I know. I was just testing you. I'm with the bishop's entourage, and I'm here at his command.
In that case, you surely know that everyone...
Good, good. Your diligence is commendable.
Sorry, sir. We'll have to go and get it. I wouldn't want to...
Of course. And you...
A little, sir, yes.
Very wise. You're clearly the right... Very well. I'll be...
Good luck, then.
Уже ебнуть охрану. Чтобы это, блядь, не аукнулось только. Аукнется, не аукнется, интересно. Может, ебануть его?
I want to talk about you.
All right.
I'm sure the bishop wouldn't mind if you had to go and answer. And if it were a nice long call...
Don't even try it.
Come on now. Johanka is my friend. She has no one else but me. I just want to say goodbye to her. What would you do in my...
Well, but I'd be taking a big risk. Disobeying the...
Of course. I wouldn't expect you to...
И Ханка как-то дорого обходится мне.
For sure.
Good luck then.
Johanka,
Yes, Henry.
I spoke to the Inquisitor.
I know.
No, it's not. I mean, it is, of course.
You want to defend me. Our Lady won't let anything bad. I am her instrument. And I'm...
I won't stand by with my arms folded. As I said.
If you insist. Maybe it's the will of...
I went to Ujits, like you...
That's good, Henry.
I did the pilgrimage of penance, like you said.
And she will bless you, Henry.
I won't. I made a donation to the church.
Was he?
Oh, just about everything that's going on.
Uh-huh. Good.
What did Bishop Yarrow...
All sorts of things. Like how the Virgin... Actually, he asked me about scalets. Whether I go to church. And a lot of other things. But I couldn't obey. The Blessed Virgin is testing me. And I have to...
I'd say he wasn't too happy about...
No. He came there with his men.
About that troll...
Yes.
I'll get some people who will testify for you in court. But Brother Nicodemus is worried you'll say... You have to talk to him respectfully, answer his questions with humility, and not say anything... And don't say anything against the church or priests.
I'll say only what the Blessed Virgin...
Johanka, please. You mustn't say anything against him or the church. I don't think the Inquisitor is so bad. If you submit to him...
You too now. You're speaking exactly the same...
I've nothing to do with him. I didn't even know he was here.
You don't believe me anymore.
I do, Johanka. I believe you. But in court, you must speak
I appreciate your concern for me, Henry. Really, I do. Not now. After everything...
But you have to consider yourself and what's good for you. Surely you don't want to be convicted of heresy. That won't do any...
I've already told you. Everything is in the hand...
Sakra. This is going to be...
Ладно. Посоветуемся с Никодимом.
I'm here about Johanka.
You're that fella of hers, are you?
No. I'm just a friend.
Huh. God knows I'm...
I heard you invited Bishop Yaroslav to...
Yes, so Bishop Yaroslav is an esteemed visitor to Sasau.
And what did you talk...
What we discussed with the Monsignor...
What have you got against...
Nothing. The question is, what has she got...
What?
She turns up here and tries to tell us how to live our lives. Says the Virgin Mary. I'd like to know who's really putting those ideas in her head. Sasau is a decent, orderly place, I'll have you know. We don't want... No one is interested in what she has to say. She ought to have thought twice before she started.
What do you mean, warned?
As I said.
Tell me everything you... I represent the royal hetman, so don't try and keep...
If you must know, some of the fellas want to have it out with, but would she listen? No.
So it was you who sent those men?
All I wanted was to protect the Sas, and I'll do just that. the Monsignor.
And I'll do likewise.
Go. God be with you.
Так, но у нас есть свидетельство, можно сказать, против церкви, которая сыграет. Вообще конкретно оно против нее сыграет, если уж так определять. Против нее сыграет конкретно, но в целом как один из доводов. Но есть еще варик бежать, всегда он остается. Хотя людей мы нормально набрали защиту. Пиздец прям.
I spoke to you.
And did you man?
I'm afraid not. She's stubborn.
Oh dear. What about her family? Doesn't she have a relative?
No.
She has no one at all.
God be with you.
Блять, ну хоть мотив на ноги ставь, пиздец. Блять, проснулся, ёб твою мать.
You're better.
Henry?
Yes, it's me.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. I'd even like to eat something.
Johanka.
Oh?
Look, things got a bit complicated here.
What?
The Virgin Mary is speaking to Johanka, but there is this inquisitor who heard he's putting her on trial.
Oh my god. But if Our Lady is speaking to her...
Well, I hope not. Trouble is, Johanka is very obstinate, and she's likely to say things in... Listen, Matthias, I need you to go with me and talk to her.
I wish I could. But I'm sorry, Henry. You know what? Tell her I'm feeling better, and I agree with everything you tell her. It'll almost be like I was there with you.
All right.
Henry, please.
I'll do my best.
Good luck, then.
Довольно такой живой голос в конце был. Не, ну в принципе, сейчас. Как будто бы даже шанс появился, что... Шанс появился, что она одумается. Попробую два пути. Если ее все-таки отправят на костер, то что поделать? Загрузимся.
Yeah.
About that
Yes.
I spoke to Matthias.
What?
No, he's much better. He asked about you.
Oh, you see? Our Lady...
But doesn't it mean that you've already done your part?
Well...
What would be the point of it all if the Inquisitor were to have you in prison?
It's a message. A final test.
But you already passed the Virgin Mary's message on. Many... Look, Matthias gave me this for you. And he asked...
Thank you, Henry.
Ладно. Погнали. Посмотрим на исход. Ёпта. О, да.
Monsignor, I've heard of various irregularities in the
Very good, my son. A good... Please.
A demon's skull was found.
Yes. Tell me what you know about...
It was a deception, sir. Someone made it with... I found the skull and brought it to the local knacker. He confirmed it was a...
You did the right thing, Henry. In uncovering the deception.
The former parish priest of Rovna, Father Simon, went missing one. Everyone thought he'd fled from the province, but in fact he just went to the wood.
I see.
I couldn't tell you.
That's a...
Some women in Egypt went to the herbalist, then they went to the woods, smeared this ointment.
What? They must be... Who is this herb...
Not to worry, Monsignor. Father God...
Well, witchcraft will not be...
There are interesting things.
In the monastery?
Oh, various things that people are talking about. There's a lot of talk about the construction of the new church, and how much it must be costing. But actually, nothing that would interest you, really. I won't waste your time with it.
As you wish.
That's all,
All right, Henry. Thank you.
Why did you have your...
I talked to her for a long time. I warned her that she had to stop preaching in public. And I told her if she had any further concerns, or as she claims, Johanka chose to ignore my warning. And obviously, I couldn't turn a blind eye to that kind of
But what's so bad about...
Look here. It's simply unacceptable that anyone at all should come along and stand up in the mark. God gave us his teachings, which we must honor. And he showed us how to fulfill them. But understanding those teachings is no simple matter. It demands learning. What Johanka has been saying is dangerously close to heresy.
But Johanka hasn't done anything against God. On the contrary.
Perhaps, but she's also incited disobedience. Think of it like this. You have to pass through a dark forest, filled with hazards. Many paths, you know which is the right path. Would you show them the right path? Or leave each to choose his own, and very likely...
I'd leave everyone to take which path they want.
But then many would lose their way. Where it concerns God's mercy and grace, we cannot allow... You must understand that it is the mission of the church to care for the...
How does the church know...
Watch how you speak, Henry, and how you can... God is the fountain of truth, and if the church was... Do you think we would be condemning not only the people, but our...
Блять, это я могу охуеть.
You're right, Monsignor. I apologize.
Good. I will excuse you, but in future do not be misled, because that will open your mind, and that's the very reason why Johanka was wrong to indulge.
Why did you
I talked to her for a long... I warned... Johanka chose to obviously...
But Johanka was visited...
We only have her word for that, and even if her visions were...
But how?
As it says in Galatians. But though we...
Galatians?
Indeed. Each would... That can't be allowed. Anyone who interprets... Do you understand?
I understand.
Excellent.
Monsignor, Johanka is just a simple village girl from
They are. And however trivial...
What broader significance?
No offense, but these things can't easily... Still, unfortunately, I don't have time for this now. After all, it is also our duty. Goodbye.
Тапсика нету. Ладно, сейчас так засейвимся тогда. Шнапчик нужно будет сделать. Я ханту пойду спать, и все равно не то. А сохраночку не дает, да? С Никодимом, что ли, поговорить?
I won't get any sleep. Take care. I just won't get any sleep. Hey!
Да, хочется поединок пробовать. Ну ладно, давайте так, пока через суд, потом поединок. Не получится поединок, сипемся.
I'm ready, Monsignor.
Excellent. We may commence then with...
Yes.
Good. I will send for everyone who is to bear witness.
Yes, sir.
One more thing. I won't tolerate any clanking armor or otherwise. You will wear this robe.
Of course. Thank you.
Very well. Take care.
Поехали. Ебать, ты кто? Ебать, у меня прическа, кстати. Современная такая. Лязгающих доспехов не допустят. Вон чел. Пролязгал.
Let us begin.
А, это этот старик? Ёп туда.
I, Bishop Yaroslav of Benishov, by the grace of God, Papal Inquisitor, have come here to Sass. And I have found indeed that by her arbitrary... Furthermore, Johanka has attempted to usurp the glory that belongs alone to hold... This does not behove any lay person. It is therefore necessary to remedy her transgressions and to invest... Henry of Scarlets has elected to appear here in Johanka... Anyone who elects to speak here does so before God. I will first hear the testimony of Father Fabian, who sent me word of this matter, and who should best know what deeds are done in... Father Fabian,
Johanka claims that she has received visitations from
Гуси, тогда тебе бошку было свернуть.
It is an outrageous claim.
And did Johanka come forward to ask you?
She did not. Instead, she took it upon herself.
And prior to this, did Johanka attend church?
I did not, once. What's more, the parish priest of Skalitz is staying at my presbytery just now. Johanka knows him. I believe Johanka is deliberately avoiding the church. Instead, she made everything up, or the devil.
If I may, Monsignor, the Virgin Mary really does speak to Johanka.
Is that so? And on what do you found this claim?
It couldn't be the devil. Johanka lives at the monastery, doesn't she? Close to the cave of St. Procopius. St. Procopius, who overpowered the devil and cast him down, did he not? The evil one would hardly dare return to the dominion of the saints to whisper in Johanka's ear. Surely that's obvious.
It's true, Henry. That evil spirits, or even Lucifer himself, would have little power in the vicinity of the remains of St. Procopius.
But the fact that she lives at the monastery doesn't mean that she is not misguided. What's more, she is an interloper there herself, who would not even be tolerated if it weren't for Brother Nicodemus.
Yes, Father. I am aware of the impropriety of her presence in the monastery grounds. But in this, I must concur with Henry.
Monsignor, would you please hear the testimony of the respected burgher Pavel of Kolin? He will testify that Johanka isn't making anything up.
Well, I'm very curious what this Pavel will tell us. Call Pavel of Kolin. I'm a little surprised to find a counselor of Kolin here, especially you, who makes no secret of your animosity towards Sasau Monastery.
True. Although I have only criticized the monastery in secular matters of property, which concerned a dispute with the town of Kolin, and therefore my duties as a counselor.
Pavel, please tell us about your recent experience.
I'm all ears, Goodman.
Monsignor, some years ago I hid some money in Sasau Woods. When I found myself here again recently and heard Johanka's words, I remembered that matter. Johanka made me aware of my inordinate love of wealth, and I resolved to donate the money in question for the common good of Sasau. For this, I needed an honest intermediary who would locate the money. In this too, Johanka helped me by putting me in touch with Henry here. By the grace of God, he found the long-lost treasure and donated it for the good of Sasau. The whole matter I regard as the intervention of the Holy Spirit.
An interesting tale, Goodman Pavel.
Not only that, it's also evidence of divine providence, and that Johanka isn't making anything up. She wasn't possessed by an evil spirit. On the contrary, Our Lady really did speak to her.
I must concur with that, Monsignor, because I was subsequently also visited in a dream by the Virgin Mary.
What? You too?
Yes. She appeared in a blue cloak and waved to me.
You
swear that what you say is true, Pavel?
I swear by Almighty God, Monsignor.
Remarkable. Truly remarkable. Very well, Goodman. Thank you for your testimony. You may stand down.
Even if it were true, why would Our Lady choose a simple village girl like Johanna?
Я тебе, блядь, повторное слово дал, ты пёс.
That is quite untoward. Let's proceed then. Is there anything else you want to add?
О, бля, у меня вагон. У меня вагон свидетелей.
He has something to say about it. He's a man of learning and knows more about these things than I do.
Certainly. I also wish to hear his testimony. Call him. Nicodemus, for some time you were insisting that the infirmary needed extra pairs of hands. It was only at your request that Johanka, against all accepted custom, was allowed inside the monastery walls. I've already spoken to Abbot Peter about her, but please tell me how Johanka behaved.
Monsignor, I must stand behind Johanka. The girl is a treasure, selfless, charitable and good-hearted. She helped more people here than anyone else. I have never seen her do anything that would contradict the behavior of a good Christian. She never discussed questions of faith with me. She was always focused only on her work, which she carried out impeccably.
And afterwards, when she began making claims of Marian apparitions?
Yes. Yes, that's quite an extraordinary thing. The things she preached couldn't have come from any of the brothers, or from books, because she can't read. Therefore, I believe the Blessed Virgin really spoke to her.
Nonsense. She made the whole thing up.
Ебальник завали.
Someone did prompt her. You're very keen to defend her, brother. It makes me wonder whether she didn't get her wisdom from you.
I already said she got none of it from me, and I would never lie before Almighty God. But it seems to me it's the inadequate education of the good parish priest here that's behind his flimsy litany.
What? Am I to be criticized by someone who's more a gardener than a scholar?
Father Fabian, let Nicodemus speak. And you, Nicodemus, stick to the point if you please.
Certainly, Monsignor. Please allow this humble gardener the priest to write, because he evidently knows nothing of the fact that other women before Johanka had similar experiences. Blessed Hildegard of Bingen also had similar visions. And what about St. Bridget, or Elizabeth of Schurnau, or Catherine of Siena? Like them, Johanka here only humbly spreads the message of Our Lady. She does not present herself as an intermediary of divine mercy. Please do not condemn Johanka, Bishop Yaroslav. In my judgment, her visions are genuine and her words sincere.
Thank you, Nicodemus. Your plea is very bold. But what you say about Hildegard and the others is true. You can rest assured, I will consider your words very carefully. Fabian, have you had trouble with heretics before, or had any suspicions of heresy here?
Not much, Monsignor. Now and then there have been traveling preachers and various charlatans here and there. Although, I did recently get reports that there were members of the Waldensian sect hiding in the province.
Waldensians? So there have been heretics concealed here. So, it cannot be ruled out that Johanka also associated with them. Perhaps they are even behind this matter, too. Thank you, Father Fabian. That's all.
I'm glad to have been of service, Monsignor.
I thank you also, Brother Nicodemus. You too may stand down. Call Hoshek, bailiff of Sasau. Bailiff, has there been any suspicious activity here recently?
Well, there have been cumins on the rampage in the woods and on the roads, and all sorts of bands of footpads and brigands around the province. But otherwise, it's all been peaceful and quiet here, Monsignor.
How reassuring. And what of Johanka, bailiff? Has she been inciting the people here?
I couldn't tell you much about her. I hardly know her. She hasn't broken any laws, and folks speak well of her, for the most part. Although it's true, things have been a bit tense here, on account of her speeches.
Continue.
Quite a lot of people have been going to her since she started with that preaching. Some are even convinced she's a holy woman. From what I heard, they bring her small gifts or ask for her advice or blessing.
Sacrilege! People coming for blessings and bringing her gifts. That has all the makings of a cult.
Oh, I don't know, Monsignor. Begging your pardon, but that's overstating it a bit. But it's true. They met outside town too, and it came to a bit of a skirmish. Nothing serious happened though. Fellas punching each other in the mouth. If you'll excuse me, Monsieur, that happens all the time. Well, that's about all I can tell you, Monsignor.
Thank you, bailiff. I will be all. And you.
Я так понимаю, кто-то был умер.
Around Johanka more than anyone. Do people come to her for blessings?
Well, they come to her, yes. But I swear she never blessed anyone. But when someone comes to her, she tries to help them, like a good Christian.
Henry, I'm sure you're aware that to lie here is a mortal sin and a crime.
Накажи меня,
And I'm not lying.
дружок.
Anything else?
Yes, Monsignor. Johanka helped Guta, the tailor's wife. Please hear her testimony. You'll see for yourself that Johanka is a good Christian.
Very well. I promised I'd hear your witnesses. Call this Guta. Guta, you witnessed Johanka's first sermon. What did she speak of?
About how we should be virtuous and not sinful.
And then you went to see Johanka, didn't you?
I did, Monsignor. I wanted to ask her for help, and she did. I was praying for my husband for a long time and begging God to help him. And I believe my prayers were answered, and he sent Johanka to us.
And there were others who came to her seeking help?
Yes, Monsignor. There were.
And that shrine, and the gifts. People brought them to Johanka so she'd help them?
I couldn't tell you. But she helped me without any of that.
Didn't you bring her any gifts?
Well, yes, but that was after. Just some old cloth for bandages and bed covers, so she could help others like she helped me. Every evening, I pray for Johanka and thank the Blessed Virgin.
Бля, как будто у меня все получится.
I see. Thank you. You may go.
I'd like you to listen to Adela. She amended her life and doesn't live in sin anymore, all because of Johanka. Johanka helped
Вот это сильный кейс будет.
not for any benefit, and Adela can testify to that.
All right. Bring this Adela. Adela, until recently you were living in the nearby town of Ledechko, is that so?
Yes.
And how did you make a living there?
I served at the baths, laundering and repairing clothes and preparing the baths.
Is that all?
No. Sometimes I went with the fellas and pleasured them for money. But I don't do it anymore. I swear. I changed my ways on account of Johanka and Henry here, and now I lead a decent life.
You're saying you simply gave up your profession?
Yes. Henry convinced me, and Johanka took me in.
Very well. Thank you. And since you left Ledechko, have you sinned with anyone?
Нет.
No, monsieur, I haven't.
Good. May God give you the will to maintain your newfound virtue, Adela. And now, please answer one more question.
Блять,
You're
опасно.
living with Johanka now, yes? Tell me what she says to the people who come to her.
Well, they come with all sorts of problems. Some want just advice. Some want her maybe to bless them or talk to Our Lady for them. They believe she's a holy woman.
So, Johanka accepts gifts from these people and then gives them her blessing?
No, it's not like that. Johanka doesn't bless anyone. And she doesn't want any gifts from anyone either. Folk just bring them. The things they bring, she gives them out to the sick and wounded. She doesn't keep anything, I swear.
You swear?
Yes, I swear to it all, Monsignor. I'd never lie to you.
All right. You may go. Now I wish to question Katra, the swordsmith's wife.
О.
Bring her here.
Вот у меня на нее есть управа.
Katra, you are a respected townswoman who has a good overview of what goes on in Sasau. As you told me earlier, will you tell me now what you know of Johanka and her deeds?
Yes, I'll tell you everything, Monsignor. Johanka has been putting ideas into people's heads and causing chaos. What right has she to preach to us? A simple girl like that? as if we were bad people here, and she herself is a sinner, and an adulterer, a loose woman she is, who goes with anyone, and even fornicated with the custodian, Sir Sebastian.
Это обман.
Forgive me, Monsignor, but Catra isn't telling the whole truth.
What do you mean, Henry?
She's the one who set a band of thugs on Johanka several times to cause trouble for her and threaten her. She wanted to drive Johanka out of town. That's not the deed of a good Christian, plotting intrigues like that. She admitted it all to me.
Is that true?
I only did what was necessary to stop her from bringing us to harm.
Monsignor, you can see yourself that Catra holds a grudge against Johanka.
Yes. I must agree with Henry. In view of your apparent antagonism towards Johanka, whatever the reasons for it, I cannot allow you to influence these proceedings. You should have reported your concerns to Father Fabian instead of acting willfully as you did.
But she's bringing us nothing but trouble.
I will be the judge of her transgressions, not you. Nevertheless, I have also heard rumors of Johanka's immorality that cannot be ignored. Bring here the Sasau custodian, Sir Sebastian von Berg.
Бля, лишь бы если мне напортачил до этого, я не помню.
Sir Sebastian, my apologies for raising the matter, but doubts have been cast on your virtue. I have been told that you have shared your bed.
Нет, это неправда. Она ему не дала.
Is it true?
Monsignor, with respect, this is surely some mistake. Johanka is not a
Бля, ну не виляй, ну тебе ж не дали.
Noted. Now please answer my question. Did you share your bed with Johanka or not?
Нет.
Yes, but she's not.
Silence! So, Johanka not only incites rebellion against the nobles...
Бля, да нет же, как так-то? Ты ёбаный мудила.
Monsignor, I've known Johanka a long time, and she's a virtuous girl and a good Christian. She just needed support. It wasn't a bodily desire, but one of the soul. Consider what she went through. Her whole family slaughtered, and everyone here turned their backs on her, but for Sir Sebastian. Anyone can make a mistake, can't they? And she's sorry for her mistake.
Monsignor, let's put a stop to this. It's undignified for us both. And for Johanka. She's no heretic, just a confused young girl to whom fate has been less than kind. Her confusion will pass. All it needs is for someone to explain to her the error of her ways. There's no necessity for extreme measures.
Sir Sebastian, be so kind as to leave the judgment of Johanka's transgressions to me. You may go.
Блять, какой же ты лишний оказался. Ёбаный ты мудила.
You proved yourself a good servant of the church when you told me of your disturbing findings concerning the situation hereabouts. You've been very keen to appear here in Johanka's defense. You've said a lot about her, but please, tell me why you've been helping her all this time.
Because she speaks the words of Our Lady. That can't be ignored. I would be disrespecting the Blessed Virgin if I turned my back on Johanka.
So, you two are still convinced of that? We'll have to see what Johanka says about it herself.
Блять, нет. Найти веский аргумент.
Please permit me to say one more thing. I heard some wise words at a sermon in Skalitz, and I think I should share them here. It's our Christian duty to fight against sin. But we must love the sinner. So I beg you, Monsignor, be lenient to Johanka.
You're right, Henry. Those are wise words. Nothing remains but to question Johanka herself.
Ой, бля, ну что?
Johanka of Skalitz, you've heard the accusations brought against you, and we have also heard several testimonies. I already questioned you earlier, and it has also come to my attention that Henry here bribed a guard to allow him to see you in your cell, which I expressly forbade. Johanka, do you wish to revise the answers you gave earlier, or do you stand by what you said?
Твою-то
I
мать.
stand by everything I told you.
So be it. I expressly forbade you to continue preaching, and you promised not to do so. You defied my instruction and broke your promise. Why?
Ебучий случай.
Signor. But I could do nothing else. Our Lady asked me to do it, and I couldn't refuse her. She did visit me. But now I admit that I
Нормально.
might have been wrong about some things. I don't understand these learned matters, and I was too hasty in speaking to the people. I regret that I didn't go first to Father Fabian and tell him about everything. I want to apologize here, before the Blessed Virgin.
Нормально, все точно. Все теперь точно хорошо.
Or brought shame on the church. I didn't intend to do anything like that. I ask
Easy.
Our Lady's forgiveness, and I will accept any punishment that you impose on me.
I'm pleased that you've seen the error of your ways and confessed to your mistakes. These proceedings are closed. You may leave. Johanka will now hear my verdict.
Johanka, are you aware you're facing very grave accusations?
Yes, Monseigneur. I am.
You stand accused of preaching from ignorance and leading the people away from the protective embrace of Holy Mother Church.
Да ладно. Неужели мы приврали?
You will suffer grave consequences.
Pride and ignorance clouded her reason.
Child, it would distress me greatly to have to pronounce a verdict of condemnation. Speak then. Do you recant your sermons and swear never again to preach to the people? And are you prepared to repent?
Сука.
As God is my witness, I did all this with good intentions.
Проебали.
And I will never preach to the people again.
Или нет?
I recant everything I preached and want to be accepted back amongst good Christians again. I will do whatever you command to make amends for my sins.
Behold, Johanka's soul too have we brought back from the dark labyrinth of the evil one and into the divine light of our Lord Jesus Christ. But the remnants of Satan's evil influence linger in her yet.
Да ну нахуй.
Must be cast out in the name of Almighty God. Take her.
Ёбаный ты мудак.
We must all be ever vigilant of Lucifer's evil designs and avoid being caught in his
Ладно, живая будет, все нормально.
Only Holy Mother Church can safeguard all Christian folks from the onslaught of the devil. Only Holy Mother Church cares for their souls so they may find salvation in the kingdom of heaven.
With thee. Blessed art thou.
Behold, Lucifer has been defeated. Johanka has been freed from his malign influence. Now she will take refuge in the sanctuary of the convent, where she will be guided on the righteous path back to our Lord Jesus Christ. God be praised.
Интересно, вообще какие исходы есть в этом квестике. Ну, прикольно, прикольно DLC. Это, наверное, самое лучшее пока что DLC.
Matthias soon recovered from his illness, but when he went to look for Johanka, he found only an empty room. Although she'd been cleared of the charge of heresy, she had to leave with the Inquisitor to enter a convent and do penance for her sins. And all that Matthias had left of her was a bitter-sweet memory. God alone knows if either of us will ever see her again.
Ёбаный-бобаный. Ой, ладно, в следующий раз я поубиваю. Будет. Йоханке скажу, что это все бред. Слушай, бред.
Yeah. Yeah.
Что у нас тут?
Yeah.
God's blessed. I'll be with you.
Возьмет?
Oh no, that looks like stone.
Не возьмет. Ладно, пешка потом продадимся.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Полуночью мы ждать не будем.
Hey!
What's Jesus?
God almighty, has something happened?
Tanner?
It's better now.
No, I mean you've complained about some ruffians raising hell.
Aye, true enough. That lot's been a thorn in my...
If you want, I'll take it.
Well, you look like you could move mountains, but...
Perhaps we'll be able to settle.
Maybe.
Perhaps I can reason with them. It doesn't have to come.
Well, break a leg, lad. Or better yet, don't. God be with you.
Разберитесь с забияками. Ох уж эти забияки. Все что ли еще налить?
I'm looking for work, and I've heard someone around here wants...
I've heard they might be looking for a new knacker. So if...
Thanks, but no thanks. Word has it, someone...
well, you've heard more...
The tanner sent me. He says you've been causing a commotion at night.
Ha! So all his whining... Let me tell you something first, whelp. I'm the bailiff's man, and we're not doing anything wrong here. Old Lederman's own...
He told me different.
Ha! Of course he did. Otherwise, no one would help him. Go ahead and ask the lad.
I'll take you at your word. But what...
The way I see it, you've got two choices. Screw that old...
What do you mean, get down?
Well, you may think you're pretty tough, and if you give us all a thrashing, we might think it over.
If I break your arm, then you won't be coming here for...
But I'm a fair fellow, so I'll make you an offer. If you enter our tournament and win, which means...
If I wanted to join in...
It's pretty simple. First you have to beat Weed. He's that not too dangerous looking fella there. But some nights, he gets a good rest and he's got God on his side. Then you can try...
So the last match is with you?
That's right. They say about...
I want to fight...
What did I tell you? Good luck then.
My humble greetings.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
God be with you.
God grant you help.
Let's fight.
You look pretty good.
We'll see.
Take care. Greetings.
Let's fight.
That wasn't bad. God be with you.
Не похуй, я все просто сейчас здесь оставлю. Да ты убегаешь.
Come on.
Let's fight.
Take care.
Кстати, не поднялся все-таки.
Go!
Let's...
Take care.
Поднялся еще один, да? Блять. Ворочался долго.
I want to fight.
You put on quite a show. Goodbye.
Да, этого больше. Так, ну здесь вопросик мы решили.
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in
Amen.
heaven. What?
So, you've been looking for us, eh? What is it you want?
I hear you're hiring men who don't mind getting their hands dirty.
Is that so? And where did you hear that?
Taverns and the like. People talk.
Oh, that's a pretty tale. But no one in any tavern told you to come here and wait, did they? So let's have it. Who told you?
I don't recall his name, but he was one of your friends. He said that he couldn't take me straight to you, that I had to go through the church.
He was right about that. But he still said more than he should have.
I know my way around. You won't go wrong with me.
Spare me the boasting. I've got a test ready for you. Let's see how you handle it before you tell us how wonderful you are.
What test?
Nothing complicated. We used to take anyone who looked like they could keep their head on straight. But not now. Now you can only join if you do what we tell you.
Which is what? Steal something?
Nah, not theft. If you want to join us, you have to kill Pius.
Who's Pius? And why should I kill him?
That's none of your business. But I'll tell you anyway, because it's an instructive tale. Pius was one of us, but he fucked up.
How? Did he steal something?
Yeah, that was part of it. Stole some money, ran away. A few boys died over it. Showed a distinct lack of loyalty. And as soon as he's dead, you can join us.
I'll have to find him first.
You don't need to find him. We know where he is.
Then why haven't you killed him yourselves?
It's quite a test. He's hiding in a monastery.
With the stable boys? It's not hard to get into the grounds.
No, not there. Oh, he would have been dead long since. He's in the, cloister, or whatever it is.
But only monks can get in there.
Just monks and Pius. He's an educated bastard. Seems he used to be a priest, but it didn't quite work out.
And how am I supposed to get into the cloister?
You'll think of something. Maybe there's a secret passage.
And do you have any other ideas besides
Well, there is this one fellow been hanging around the taverns. And if he doesn't help, knock him on his ass and take anything he's got that you could use to pass yourself off as him.
Murder someone in a...
Murder's a...
Yes, it does. I'd be spilling...
Well then, knock him senseless, drag him outside, and finish him off where it's...
And do you have any...
We're not hiring stable boys. We want men.
So how many men have you already sent?
Just that.
And what happened to them?
Just the first one. The others...
How will I reckon?
He won't have been there long. He should...
But what if there are others? What if...
Normal. He always went about...
Yes, except he'll be given a robe and they'll take his knife.
Then you'll have to try and figure out which one of the novices it is. And get him to betray himself.
Get him drunk?
We're better. There's more wine there than in the...
Fine. So I've got to kill Pius. He's in the cloister, and to get into the cloister, I'll need to...
More or less.
The main thing is to...
Of course. But that's not all. All hell's gonna break loose in the monastery after the murder. So, either make sure nobody...
What else? Should I...
No. Before you run for it, take his special dice, and bring it as proof that you killed him. And if you can get him to tell you where...
Bring his dice and the money if I find out.
From the monastery, head east across the river. There'll be a swamp where you'll find a fire pit. Go there at night and light a fire. Make it nice...
Right, I'm to slip into the best guarded place in the entire region and kill someone. Take his dice and...
Yeah.
Well, you can at least say a few Hail Marys for me.
Henry... Goodbye.
Я же разобрался. Мы не будем идти туда. Пойдем реально к пану. Чистый интерес, ради чего он нам скажет. А ну, блядь. Мне даже интересно, в 2 метрах от города кто. Кто у меня уже, блядь, здесь? Чё я украл? Хер его знает. Да и похером. Так. Пойдем к господину Кобыле. Было заперся.
Are you deaf? What's up? Do you need some help? God bless you.
Sir, this investigation...
What have you found?
I tracked down a gang of robbers who recruited killers for Pribyslavitz. They know the horse...
That's excellent news.
So far, not much. If I'm going to infiltrate them, I have to do what they say. That means...
You have to kill a criminal to prove yourself to them? Huh. I don't much like the sound of it.
That's not the worst of it. This Pius is hiding out in the monastery pretending to be a novice. I'd have to get inside the cloisters to get at him.
Good God above, that's another matter entirely. They don't let just anyone into the cloisters, and the abbot won't give up any of the novices. Secular law has no jurisdiction inside...
What should I do with...
Don't kill him. Bring him to the bailiff in Ratte.
It doesn't sound like an easy task, sir. Getting into the cloisters, finding...
Far from it, lad. But I have...
It seems like the only way to find Pius is to join...
A bit of meditation, and if it's really the only way to get to him, then you'll have to do it. I'm sorry I can't be of much help. God be with you.
Да. Что ты хочешь?
Surrender! You've committed a violation. Enough is enough. I'm really sick of upstarts who think the law doesn't apply to them. Well, you won't forget.
You're making this...
Well...
Пойдем в монастырь. Ну пойдем как этот. Как ниндзя-воин. Мне рили впадло проходить весь монашеский квест. Там он такой. Он мудреный, он непростой.
Good day.
Henry, I want to thank you for that generous donation to... What do you need?
So?
Yes, sadly. I'll miss her. The contemplative life is free, and her healing skills will find... You advised her well, Henry. The fact that it could easily have taken a very ugly turn.
Do you still think the Virgin...
Who can say? Was she really I don't think so. But I suppose we'll... And Johanka will have plenty of time in the...
Как будто чего-то не хватает. Да, не хватает штанов черных. Блять, перегруз-то постоянный. Угу. Антоний. Походу наш чел. Антоний наш. Понял. Сколько же дверей. Тут 20-ю незаметность стяпнули.
What's that? Hey, who's there?
М. Прикольно, я не знал, что храм так соединяется. Так, ну ладно. Нам нужен Антошка. Единственный вопрос. Где спят послушники? Я ушел.
What the hell was that?
Очень много монахов. Очень много. А вот и наш мальчик. Так, мне нужно сундучок этот явно взломать. Сука, ошибся. Мне нужен его кинжал. О, давай поговорим. Видимо, разговора не будет.
You don't belong here. Leave right now. Be quick about it.
Is someone there?
Ничего нету. Да что он проснулся. Но при этом не успел съебаться отсюда. Прям так нужно поговорить.
What do I have to do to enter the monastery?
You have to know how to read and write, speak Latin, and have a letter of admission from the abbot. But most importantly, your soul must be filled with Christian fervor, and you must be willing to lay...
Letter of admission?
That's the least of your worries. By the look of you, I'd say your biggest problem will be your... Tell me, are you capable of spending your days in quiet meditation and prayer?
What do I have to do?
You have to know how to read...
Letter...
That's the... Tell me.
Кто-то, видимо, я сломал в игре. Я типа должен правильно туда зайти. Ну ладно. Он в воде сейчас. И как я понял, деться отсюда никуда не может. Проблема в том, что ни кинжала, ни костей нету. Так, ну и что же за юноша собирается в монастырь? Наверное, сопровождающий вот этот вот. Да. Довольно просто.
Hey, where's your torch? You can't walk around.
Смотри, если надо поговорить. Монастырский привратник. Может, на первом монитore?
What was that noise? Hey, you! What are you doing? Fuck off before I lose my temper. What are you doing here? Must be the wind.
Блять, он мне мешает. На меня повесит или не на меня? Мне интересно, или просто. Но Мёрдер это убийца. Вроде как. Как бы они трупешки. О.
I'm Carl.
We expected you sooner. Weren't you supposed to come here with your guardian? It's been so hectic lately, people...
He gave me the papers and left me at the gate. You must be used to that, though. I'm not the first.
But that wasn't very considerate. It's been so hectic here lately, novices arriving one after the other. The last one didn't even have a letter. And
You took him without the letter? You didn't find...
my guess is he wanted to hide from someone. But he's a priest and knows how things work in the monastery. So that you're a different case, though.
Naturally. I wouldn't be here.
So then, are you ready to enter the Order of St.
I am.
Then you must rid yourself of all your worldly possessions. Sell them or give them. Inside the gatehouse is a trunk in which you will find monk's robes. Put away all your possessions and dress yourself in the habit. Then you may rest. Good luck to you.
Strange feeling being without all of that.
everything's prepared. It's time for you to take your vows.
Do I really have to wear this?
You'd better get used to it. You'll be wearing it for the rest of your life.
Да, ребят, удачи. Как вы думаете, где меня не окажется через 2 гребаных секунды после контроля над персом? Ой, я смотрел так. Братья-монахи.
Brothers in Christ, we have gathered here today to welcome a new novice into our midst. Dear brother, forget your former life and embrace your new vocation in the community of the monks of St. Benedict. Opus Dei, obedientia, obprobria, the service of God, obedience, and endurance of all discomfort. These are the cornerstones and succor of our order, which on this day shall become your own. Suscipe me, Domine, secundum eloquium tuum et vivam, et non confundas me ab expectatione mea.
Suscipe me, Domine, secundum in loquium tuum vivam, et non confundas me ab expectatione me.
И, блядь.
Accept your new name, Brother Gregor, and wear it with honor. Welcome, brother.
Все, братья мои меньшие. Священные. Дайте мне 2 секунды.
I am Antonius, a novice like you. I've been instructed to guide you around.
Would you tell me something about...
I'm a novice and I'm here because I'd make a poor merchant. I like books and I want an education. Although I must say, so...
Thanks for helping me.
You don't know Latin, do you? Don't worry. Work in the scriptorium will teach you fast.
It was my choice. For a common lad like me, it's the easiest way to...
It looks like we're both here for the same reason. I think...
Let's go then.
Good. But before we do, here's a letter directly from the prior telling you all your regular duties from... Make sure to read it this evening, so you know how things work. Follow me closely. I'll explain... Remember one word. Discipline. It's your job to work and pray. You serve the Lord now, not your own body.
I found this piece of parchment.
I've no idea. Why don't you ask Brother Librarian?
It occurs to me you might be the man to ask. I'm looking for some...
Lockpicks? You surprise me, brother. And you, a nobleman's son.
I'd like to ask you... Are there...
Yes. From the moment talk began about electing a new abbot.
Tell me...
Abbot Peter is old. When he dies, they'll have to select a new abbot from amongst the brethren. A candidate...
Well, that's all.
В тюрьму мне повесили. Уху я монах.
Come now, I don't want to still be showing you around at midnight. This is the way to the dormitory, where we all sleep. You'll find a free bed there, which is now yours. Do you know the first thing the monastery taught me? To appreciate sleep. We rise before dawn every day. It takes a bit of getting used to.
I'd like...
Come now, I don't want to still be showing you around.
I found this piece of... Ovid? What is that?
Not what, but who? Ovid was a great Roman poet. Now I believe I can guess what happened. Brother Eustace, may the earth rest lightly on him, was quite narrow-minded when it came. If he'd had his way, all such books would have been burned. Ovid's The Art of Love.
Oh, would you...
Absolutely. Eustace's wits weren't the sharp. I imagine he hid them throughout the monastery. It might take you a while to find them all, but when you do, you can rest.
Good.
Thank you, brother. It's of no great importance.
I found a few pages.
Wonderful. Keep looking.
Is it possible to learn...
Only the abbot and the...
And can I see them?
No. The abbot writes and keeps his records in his...
Так, если сейчас аббат не в покоях, то, в принципе, мы сейчас заваливаемся тогда к аббату, типа читаем это повторно.
Don't even look at that cabinet. It contains forbidden books.
Ой, а что такое? Больше прикалываюсь, что я вот это не могу открыть. Отмычки мне нужны.
What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
Will you tell me something?
There's not much to tell. I lived in Vlashim, and after my father died, I found it's peaceful here.
So you chose to come here?
It may seem strange, but I'm one of the few novices that did. I might be the only one. The truth is, the idea of spending my life...
I'd like to ask you...
Блять, все закрыто нахуй. Надо было отмычек себе оставить здесь.
I'm telling you, someone's been creeping around the corridor at night. What am I saying, creeping? He was stomping about like a bear.
That must have been Brother Cicada. He can't sleep and prays longing for the night.
I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know.
And you are?
Lucas, also a novice. Don't get up.
I'd like to know...
I don't...
Tell me about
I'd like to, but there's nothing to tell.
You really don't know anything about anyone?
Don't get upset. I'm sorry I can't tell you more.
Will you tell me?
I
mean, where you're from?
I'm a novice.
Come on.
I could, but I don't want to. I'm sorry. I want to stay. What has been isn't important for us. We cast the...
I've heard that you,
What?
I read it in the app.
What? The abbot's book is locked up in his chambers, and he'd never allow anyone to read it.
I was looking for something else, but I just...
No matter what you were looking for, you crossed a line that shouldn't be crossed. But don't worry. Yes, you can call me a sodomite, a sinner, a monster, the spawn of Satan. But tell me this, Gregor. Can I help?
You're right. I found it interesting, but
I'm glad you aren't like the others. I swear to God, I've never lain with another man. I've never sinned. When my father wanted me to find a wife and start a family, I told him my guilt had been consuming me. And I knew in the monastery
There's something I should tell you. Something secret.
You're looking for someone? But
I am a novice. At least until...
Why would you be looking amongst monks? You know, the law...
I'm looking for a footpad who's hiding out here in the monastery. He had a hand...
I heard some...
Because you could help me. It has to be one of the other...
That can't be. Have you told the prior?
Talk to him. Do you have any idea which of the novice...
I don't know, and I don't care to know. I wish...
I'm Gregor, and
I know. I saw you in the church during ceremony.
What does that mean?
I make sure everyone observes the rule, does their work,
and when it's not the way...
Then we're authorized to mete out punishment. But, sir...
I'd like to ask... My name's Gregor.
You can call me Siskin. But are you here of your own free...
Did you say Purgat?
You'll see soon.
Will you tell me...
Look, nothing against you, but I...
Are you hiding something?
I'm hiding a lousy past that I'd rather... I hate to think of all I lost when they stuck me in here. And also because I really hate the question. I was rich and I had everything. But then my father began to feel his time approaching, so he just... I've no head for managing the estate, and they said I'd squander it. Can you imagine? Me, in a monastery. So I...
But you didn't have to come here if you didn't...
No, not if I didn't mind being left to beg alms by the city gate. I had one choice, the monastery or nothing.
They must have real...
I donated some of the silver to the monastery when I came in, just to piss them off. I can just see my brothers, my siblings.
And you stashed away the...
Indeed, sir.
What's your plan with this?
To get out of here as soon as I can. I'll wait another year or two until my hot-headed brothers cool off.
That's all I...
Please, keep it to yourself.
How is it that you don't get any...
I've paid off the circators to turn a blind eye. And the other monks don't notice as long as you show your face there from time to time.
I'd be interested... Tell me about
Oh, if there was a monk I'd recommend as a friend, with of course the exception of myself, it would be.
That's all. There's something I should tell you. Something you... I'm here to find someone, and, well, to do away with him. But listen, it's not murder. Not when it's a man like him.
What's he doing here?
They call him pious because he used to be a priest. When he found out a lot of people were after him, they sent me here to find him and bring him to justice.
So we have one outlaw and one assassin in our midst. This place...
Well, that's just it. It could be...
Antonius. He's a fine fellow. No, it can't be him.
See how hard it is? It could be anyone, and at the same... I won't tell you.
You're talking about killing in the monastery.
Would you do that? I have a feeling you would.
You're right. I'll keep it to myself. I've got problems enough of my own without involving myself in yours.
Thank you, Siskin. Greetings, brother.
Greetings to you, brother. I'm Yodok, the older...
Trouble?
You're young, perhaps intemperate. You might easily stray from the rules of the Order.
Can you tell me?
I would if there was anything noteworthy to say. But I'm just the ordinary son of a landowner.
Why did you join the monastery?
Because it was better than living in poverty. As the youngest son, I'm not entitled to inherit my father's... And you know what? I'm glad to be here.
I've read the abbot's book. It says in there that you're not as saintly as you make out.
You broke into the abbot's quarters to spy on me?
I'd pull those
I wasn't interested in your opinion about what I did. What interests me is...
I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm going
us, their superiors, to chase around after them, finishing what they don't.
You have to finish someone's weeding in the garden.
Just try it, and I'll smack you so...
No, don't hit me. I want...
Listen, there's something I ought to tell you.
Ha! I knew... it's better not to ask, isn't it?
Never mind that.
That's Siskin. I always thought he was an odd one, the way he carries on. But now it makes perfect sense. He's a criminal fleeing...
What are you talking about? You clearly know something I don't.
I'm telling you, keep your eye on him. He's no monk. That's what my gut tells. What are you going to do to that fella?
That's not your...
You should talk to the Circators or the Prior about it.
I'm interested in...
Someone really reeked at matter.
Do you know anything?
Only that he came to the monastery voluntarily, because he didn't want to work in his father's shop.
It's a mystery.
Antonius is alright. You can rely on him. He won't betray a cop. He's always happy to help, which is more...
Then he'd soon get his man.
Ну точно не чиш. Он не обучался.
Someone's been creeping around in the corridor at night. Am I saying?
He was stomping about like a bear. That must have been Brother Circator. He can't sleep and face all...
Антони куда-то съебався. Блять, круг сделал.
I'd like to know.
I don't know.
Tell me about an.
I'd like to, but there's nothing to tell.
You really don't know.
Don't.
It's that touching, is it?
Touching? More like infuriating. A horrible, abominable waste.
Поразили справиться. Что у нас есть? Лирена, заработка, крапива, мята, дуванчик, капуки. Я не могу братишку найти своего. Братишку, Антошку.
This looks like the dregs after a night's drinking. Who could be coming here?
А кому за отмычками, что-то я не помню.
What do we have here? A nice sharp dagger. Now what would a monk need that for?
Угу. Прикольно. Такого не было в прошлый раз там.
Are you waking me? Go.
Елари. Ладно, хорошо. А сколько подъем? 3 утра. Ебни. 3, блять, утра подъем. Что такое? Нахуй меня подняли? В 3 утра подъем. Блять, проспал. Ёб твою мать. Олег, у тебя подъем в 3. 3 утра, начало дня. Ты смотришь на меня так, это не нравится.
I'm a new brother, a novice, Gregor.
Welcome amongst us. Yes, yes. The Lord wanted me to take over the abbot's duties in his absence, but how do you like it here?
It's wonderful.
I'm glad to hear it.
I'd like to ask...
Уважаемые.
Not now, brother.
Can't you see we're at ma-
Чё, послужили, хватит. Так, уважаемые монахи, мне требуется один конкретный забияка. Выдайте его мне, и все с вами будет хорошо. Спасибо.
Can't you? Not now.
Да, до скольки это служба? До 6, ёпта, точно. Они же вообще, блядь, бешеные. 2 часа молятся.
Not now.
А что нету службы?
Can't you see we're at m-
What is it, bro?
I'd like to ask...
Talk to me, brother.
Ah, Gregor, talk to me.
I'd like to ask... About you...
Ask me anything?
I'd like to help you if I can.
I am convinced Nevlus must have done something that would greatly damage him if everyone found out.
So, I should dig something up?
Exactly. But I doubt you'll have any luck. Nevlus...
Once I find something out... Tell me something...
Nevlus is weak and...
I'd like to...
Well, Nevlus...
I'd like to help you.
He who aids us...
I'm not really...
Then why are you wasting my...
Thank you for... What did you want?
Dig up some dirt on...
I'd like to... I'm Gregor.
I know. I saw you at the ceremony. My name is Nevlus, and I'm the provost here.
That means you get to leave the monastery?
No, not at all. I just...
Is there anything...
You know, there is. Perhaps you've heard. I'm interested in medicine, and I know there's a cure for the abbot's ailment. With your help, I could find out the details, and together you and I...
What do you need me for?
In order to get the recipe for this medicament, a few rules will need to be broken. Now you know most of the... I, however, think if God sent us not just illnesses, but also the medicine to cure them, the cure for Abbot Peter's illness could be contained in one of the books in our library. But it will certainly...
Why are they for...
Because it's not even...
Where can I find...
In the library, there's a large... No one will note.
Is there any...
There's a key...
Why can't you do it
Because I'm one of the highest-ranking monks here, and one day I'd like to become abbot.
You could just ask for it.
Do you honestly think I haven't tried?
I'm ready.
One more important thing. There's always someone in the library during the day. They say Brother Solarius understands locks. But don't tell him why you need it. Once you have the book, bring it. We'll soon have the election.
Мне нужен брат Келарь.
Disciples with a twofold teaching. That is to say, he should show them all that is good and holy, by his deeds even more than by his words.
What do you desire, brother?
I'm looking for...
And what...
I'm looking for...
Lock picks?
I'd like to practice...
Well, why not? So you heard I used to be a burglar, did you? I put it all behind me as soon as I'll trade them for food. Get me a bite to eat, and you can have...
Finds better in good works or in obedience. And let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders, but, since he has the authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear.
А покушать мне дадут?
Correct with verbal admonition the first and second time. But bold, hard, proud, and disobedient characters he should curb at the very beginning of it.
конечно. Чтобы хватило мне.
For it is written, in much
Aha, Greg.
not escape sin. And in another place, death and life are in the power of the tongue. For speaking
Ой, блядь.
Rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on daily manual labor.
I've heard about a vis.
Who told you about?
I've heard there are some.
That's correct. There.
Could a book be?
No errors are made. Every book on the.
What if I?
You could not. They are libri.
Not even if I were to beg, or promise a.
If you could.
How does a book get on?
Forbidden works are full of heresy.
I don't need to hear anything.
Короче, собрать книгу.
Readings on the spirit of silence. Let us do what the prophet says. I said, I will guard my ways, that I may not sin with my tongue. I have set a guard to my mouth.
Окей, идем за книжкой. Все равно ключик есть, какая разница. А, блядь. А, тут еду. Наворуем сейчас. Уже хоть что-то достоит.
What is it, brother?
Grigor.
What is it, brother?
Brother, I've a favor to ask, and I think you're the man to help.
I see. So it's the.
Well, yes.
It won't be easy, I can tell you that straight off.
Is there any other?
The door out of the monastery is like any other. Only the lock's more complicated than most. But
There's something else.
Brother, remember the vows you made. We're forbidden to leave the monastery.
What is it, brother?
I found a dagger.
And why shouldn't you have? I did hide.
Only when necessary.
And was it necessary? Are you looking for someone or something? That dagger's the only thing I have left of my father. It was in our old shop under the counter. When I was little, I admired that dagger so much. I asked father if he'd give it to me when I was older.
Go on, please.
Now father's dead and I'm here. That piece of steel is the only thing I have left from the outside world. Now you can give it back to me.
I don't have it with...
Well, I'd be grateful if you brought it back to me. I'm no priest, but tell me what you've done.
I'm here in the monastery looking for a thief.
You don't say.
That's not important.
Why are you telling me this anyway?
Perhaps you could help me find him?
The missing thief? If I knew anything, I'd tell you, but I suppose it must be one of the novices. I've only recently heard about the Neuhof incident.
I know. Aside from me, there are only 4 novices, but still I don't...
3? Please, leave me out of it. No one knows anything about Lukas. Siskin might be a lot of things, but a monk isn't one of them. And Yodok is a slimy... Actually, the more I think about it, the less I like that Yodok. He's a treacherous rat who'd do anything to get in someone's good...
I don't think it was him. But please...
Don't fret, my friend.
I know you're pious.
So you're finally sure? Tell me, Gregor, or Carl, or whatever your
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, at least you're prepared to think and not just play bloodhound for a pack of nobodies.
I don't want to be like the people I'm looking for. If I have to kill, it should be for a reason.
You know, we're both pawns in someone else's game. They have plans for us, but we don't have to let them use us. We can just forget it. I was a bandit, and I was at Nyhof. I've robbed and stolen. What I saw at Nyhof made me realize my life was worth shit, but I still had a chance to change for the better. Here in the monastery I've had
So the evildoer changes his ways and finds God. What exactly?
Both of us can leave this place. You can go back to your people, and I can go somewhere where I can live out my life in peace and...
What if I wanted a different option?
You could kill another novice, I suppose. If news of the murder got out from the monastery, my former friends might believe I'm dead. But I'm offering you a solution. Before we make a run for it, we'll make it look like someone's killed me. Loads of blood, a tattered scrap of my habit. There we'll split up. You go for your bounty.
Good. Let's do it your way.
Good. I'm glad that despite our initial discord, we could reach an agreement. Here, take something to calm your stomach. Now we'll need the key.
What are you going to do?
I need to get ready for a long journey. Prepare supplies, get some normal clothing somehow. That sort of thing.
What do I need the key?
How else will we get out?
Getting the keys won't be easy.
I know, but Brother Solarius is a reformed thief. I'll bet he still has a few lockpicks lying about. If you know, or there's the hard way. Steal the keys from the...
They both sound horror to me. And where am I supposed to get my hands on...
You'll find a parchment in the kitchen with a list of ingredients on it. All the things they're ordering. Add blood for making soup to the list. And when...
Alright, that's everything I need to...
Excellent. Come and see me once you have... And Gregor...
Да я бы рад поесть со всеми. А, ой, ебать, можно? Спасибо. Библиотечка. Я себя шо я такого сделал?
What is it, brother?
I'm looking for...
And what?
Oh. What troubles? I have everything.
Show me. No, you don't have the goat skin of blood.
Блять, а где его записать-то? А, ебать, это наружу дверь была.
Get away from that cabinet. The books stored in there aren't for your eyes to see. Talk to me, brother.
I'm Gregor.
I know. But I've no time for idle chat.
What, you do nothing else?
It is my penance and my blessing. And what troubles you?
Ладно.
What is it?
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. I want you to once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby.
Чего, блядь, так, а ну. На 2 календулы было, я понял. Не заметил.
Salve. What trouble?
I finished my...
Show me what you... Spectacular, Gregor. You've found your talent.
Так, отправь мне на следующий день соберем.
Get away from that cabinet. The books stood in there aren't for your eyes to see.
Проблема в том, что этот гусь всегда тут стоит. Подождем до того момента, как они начнут спать.
Obeys with an ill will and murmurs, not necessarily with his lips, but simply in his heart, then even though he fulfills the command,
Praise be to our
yet
Lord Jesus.
his work will not be acceptable to God, who sees that his heart is murmuring.
It's a mystery, but one that will be soon solved. It's a wonder the prior doesn't check everyone's breath in the morning. Then he'd soon get his man.
И книжку одну мы украли. Тихо.
You, stop right where you are.
Иди нахрен. Я
Don't
монах.
move a finger. Surrender. You committed a violation.
Я монах.
Now, what? Try that on someone else. I know full well you're... Personally, I'd rather string you up.
Just my luck.
Look, I can't tell you.
Ah, shit! Got you at last.
What?
Don't play. If it was up to me...
You're making...
Ah, Kurva!
Think
Enough!
I'll let you off, do
You got me!
No, we finish this.
Oh.
У него очень долго не снималось ХП.
people.
Неужели я поздно?
Pray, what are you doing outside at night? You should be sleeping, not scaring people.
Talk to me.
Here's your dagger.
Thank you, brother. You don't know what this means to me.
I have every...
Show me. You don't have the goat skin of blood.
Блять, а где бурдюк-то?
Novices have no business here.
Given to superiors is given to God. For if the disciple obeys with an ill will and murmurs, not necessarily with his lips, but simply in his heart, then even though he fulfills the command, yet his work will not
What do you
be
desire?
acceptable to God, who sees that his heart is murmuring, and far from gaining a reward for such work as this. The rule of Saint Benedict, readings on the spirit of silence. Let us do what the prophet says. I said. Lead us at times to refrain even from good
Praise be.
speech. So much the more.
I have everything we need.
Punishment for sin make us avoid evil words. Therefore, since the spirit of
Show me.
silence is so
No.
important, permission to speak should rarely be granted
Praise be to.
perfect disciples.
I have every...
Good,
Excellent.
holy, and
Straight after Vespers, we'll meet in the dormitory. We'll have to get it all.
What exactly is your plan? And why can't...
We're going to prepare a little riddle they'll never solve. And why at mealtime? Because we need the dormitory as well as the church to take everything with you, and don't forget that.
Good. Once he...
Brother? Is this a tavern? Are we at a dogfight? Violence does...
Very well, brother.
I still need to look through your pockets to see if you have any... You have a weapon. Here, in the monastery. You failed to complete your trial period as a novice. You...
Вот это, конечно, поворот. Окей, хорошо. Что будет?
Aren't you meant to be in the monastery, lad?
A monk got no business.
If I kill someone, I'll need to disappear before they're found and panic breaks up. And I'll probably never be able to return.
Братан, сейчас очень не повезет. Блядь. Ебать, тут стража прилетела. Там стражника. Ёбаный рот. Их там человек 15-20. есть у меня план.
What's going on there?
So it was. Oh, dear God.
Алло, блядь, вас сюда не должны пускать вообще.
Hey, who's there? What was that? You don't belong here. Leave right now.
Ухожу. Я не могу, где их спальни, что-то. Я туплю.
Hey. What's going on there?
Это за то, что сюда стражи набежало просто немеренное количество. О-о-о!
Hey, you! What are you doing? Fuck off before I lose my temper.
Hey, you! Halt!
Ah,
Surrender! Caught you. Now you'll...
What?
Don't play the innocent. I have witnesses who saw you in... Personally, I'd rather string you up.
Are you pulling my piss off?
What's your game?
You there! Stop! Surrender!
Where can you find
All that combat.
Блядь, да иди нахер.
slaughter you.
Две стрелы уже так просела.
Is someone there? You, don't move a muscle. Surrender. You commit to violence. You're under arrest.
You don't belong here.
Мне повезло.
Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing? Mother of God! Is that all you've got?
Тихо, 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 тихо.
What's the matter? What's up? Shit yourself?
Бывайте, Сяндра. Я не знаю, кому-то мне повезло, да мне в принципе и все равно. Важно только быстрее бы закончится.
Yeah. 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 You there. Stop. Ah! Mother of God. God. Yeah. Yeah.
This looks like the place they were talking about.
Morning, sunshine. Hope we didn't wake you.
Kurva. Did you have to sneak up on me like thieves?
We are thieves. Besides, you had to make sure you weren't followed. Or trying to lead us into a trap. But enough of this chit-chat. Let's get down to business. We heard there was some trouble at the monastery. Question is, was it the right sort? Did you do that job we agreed?
Do you think I'd be sitting here if I didn't do it?
How should I know? The world's full of idiots.
It's done.
You've got proof?
I didn't find anything unusual on him except for a lot of coin.
I'd say that's unusual for a monk, wouldn't you?
Well,
have you got it on you?
Yeah.
Great. Since that's the money we paid the bastard for a job he didn't do, I'll have it back.
Sure. Here you are.
Well, I never. Honest to God, Groshen, what are you so glum about? You didn't think I'd let you keep it, did you? Here's your share for the work you did. Not a groschen more.
What now?
What now? You did your job. Welcome. We need people like you.
But what do you need people like me to do?
I'm just a crimp. All I do is recruit. Now you get to go to our camp and find out everything you need to know.
Where?
Are you seriously telling me you didn't notice the camp? Not too observant, are you? Well, there's a hill above Sasau, and on top there's an old abandoned fort. Only it's not as abandoned as it used to be. That's where the camp is.
And they'll let me in just like that?
Good point. Show this to them.
That's all?
That's all. You'll learn everything you need to know at Vranik.
Я думаю, с докладом мы закончили.
Hey!
Yeah! Sir, I have news, and I'm sorry to...
After everything that's happened, you have even worse news.
I'm afraid so. It's going to happen.
You're full of good cheer, aren't you?
It seems the Pribyslavitz encampment was just a start.
How did you find out?
I found a recruiting agent who works for them, and...
Ah, God's holy hat!
And what did you find?
They have another much bigger encampment in Vranik near to Sasau.
What do those bastards want? And who the hell are they?
To hurt us? Conquer the region? I'm not sure yet, but I can find out.
How?
I'm one of them now. I have their secret sign. I know where their camp is.
That's out of the question. It's too...
Sire, compared to everything I went through to get this, it will be child's play. I already passed their test.
Then we'll have to attack them before things get out of hand. Ideally, right now when they're not expecting us. Once we But then again, before we attack, it would be useful to have a spy go and scout.
I don't want...
It's much less risky than our raid on Pribyslavitz.
All right then, Hal. Go there and find out how many of them there are, and what they're...
Yes, sir.
Godspeed, lad.
Yeah.
Пожалуй, на этом на сегодня и закончим. Всем спасибо, кто присутствовал на трансляции, либо будет просмотреть этого записи. Отличного настроения, удачи и пока-пока.